Welcome to another episode of New Earth Rhythm. My name is Lisa. Today is December 5th, and we're in it. We are in it, y'all. This is revelations from Mercury retrograde, adjusting, pivoting, making big changes so that you can live a life that is in alignment with your desires. And then today, December 5th and December 6th, we are aligning to the Great Attractor, which will give you whatever it is that you're putting off into the world. You're going to get that energy back. You're going to attract, you're going to manifest that a thousandfold with this kind of energy we're working with. So go listen to my last podcast all about that if you really want to understand how to harness this moment in time. But at this point, you should really be aware of what revelations came through, what insight just came in like boom, lightning crack dropped into your life, into your awareness, into your lap, into your heart. This understanding, this lifting of the veil, this what was unconscious becoming conscious, and understanding that you need to make a conscious change, a conscious pivot or refocus to really align now to your desires, and then getting super clear about your desires because you are a super magnet today at this great attractor moment where you're going to get whatever it is that you're putting out. So I said that I was going to share what's showing up in my life. I think it's important for me to share these things. Because I always want to share my own experiences that might help other people understand how to harness and work with these energies. And it's in my own life path to share my emotional wisdom and my perspectives, how I'm seeing it and how all these energies are playing out for me, and to be a mouthpiece for that, to share it with others. So that is what I am doing. Well, I had some crazy revelations this week. A few of them being how I'm going to change my approach to how I'm showing up online and how I'm speaking to my audience. This quote really stuck with me that was like, you need to scare off the people that are not meant for you. And you need to just to your friends. Speak to your friends, and the people will come. If you're already speaking to your friends, the people will come rather than trying to speak to strangers and be everyone's cup of tea and get people on board with what you're saying. Like, no, just speak already to your friends and scare off the people that are not meant for you. That was really reinforced for me. And I'm really owning that. And then it's all about the theme for me coming up is really all about my communication, which is wonderful because Mercury is all about communication, and Mercury is the messenger for the gods. And that's what I hope for my own life is to become such a clear channel and quiet my ego self so that I can be a clear channel for divine life to work through me and to speak as my higher self and not let my ego self fumble the bag. And so I've had some conflicts come up recently. One conflict was with a very close friend of mine, um, and another conflict with my husband. And that really all came back down to the way that I am communicating and how I need to change the way that I am communicating. So, in the social media aspect and how I'm showing up in my podcasts, I always want my message to be inspiring and empowering and uplifting and positive. But what fuels me and what drives me forward in life to even put myself out here and do these things and share, it really is, I am really fueled by this anger that I have. And it's my anger and disgust at how broken the world is, how destructive and oppressive the world is, and how these systems and structures are outdated, and how people are sick, and how there is this, dark oppressive state apparatus that is purposely keeping people down, sick, and asleep. That makes me so angry. And that is my fuel. That's my passion for why I share, ways to live the life of your dreams, ways to live a healthy life. I want to share how to empower people and how to become sovereign. It's fueled by my anger, which is also tied with my passion. And it does serve, I do get my points across. I do make an impact with my voice. I am a manifestor in human design, so my life is all about my voice and making an impact. However, this also blows up in my face because sometimes when my message is too fueled by this passion and by this anger, I'm coming in like an abrasive punch and I'm not softening the blow of my impact. And I could be alienating people that would otherwise listen and be interested in my message and be inspired by the message. Um, so that's how I'm showing up online. I need to get back to my positive, inspiring message, which I've always had up until the election. Around the election, things got so heated and so tense, and I did fall into the trap of the polarity. And my messages this last month were more fueled by anger, and it just wasn't being received well. I was putting out messages on TikTok and they're being perceived well until all of a sudden they're not, and then the negative comments get in and I'm like, I don't want to invite negativity into my space, into my awareness, or into my TikTok. Is this really the message I want to be putting out there? Do I really stand behind this message? Or was I just capturing a passionate, angry moment and it's not being received well the way that I really want to stand behind. That's not my MO. My MO is to be unifying, uplifting, empowering, and positive. So I just had like a big revelation about how my tone this last month has changed and how I want to get back to making sure that my impact lands nicely instead of an abrasive punch. That's how I'm showing up online. And then in my relationship as well, I had a really big revelation, and this has been like a recurring theme, right? So I am an emotional manifestor in human design, and my husband is a reflector. And so he is always reflecting my emotional energy back at me. And it's really beautiful and really powerful for the grand scheme of my life and this quantum purpose. It really is so powerful that he will always really be there to keep me in check and to keep me on track because I can instantly see when and where I'm out of alignment because it's reflected back at me. Whereas my whole life, being this independent, wild, free spirit, lone wolf, I was always running so fast that nothing could touch me and nothing could catch up with me. And, I was never like had a mirror shining in my face showing me these patterns that are holding me back in life or keeping me down or like destructive patterns. And it's really all coming down to communication. Like I've never really had to learn the art of communication because I was never in a divine union like this. I was never in a deep relationship like this. And so now I see how my communication really matters. And to be a manifester, you have to master the art of communication. And this is why our strategy is to inform. Most manifestors suck at this because it does not come naturally to manifestors. And by the way, if you're not familiar with human design, 9% of the population are manifestors. And then 1% of the population are reflectors, 36% of the population are manifesting generators, 33% are generators, and 20% are projectors. I'll do a whole other episode on this, but if you're just listening, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Human design is the moment of your birth and how all of the planets impacted your chakra system. And it's the interconnection of your defined chakras that form your aura, and it's how you're communicating with life. We all have different variations of this. And manifestors have a defined throat chakra, which is the home of expression, manifestation, and inspired action, being a clear vessel for source, for divine life to work through us. And then we take action, we initiate on our internal world, on our urges, which are divine. When you're living in alignment, your urges are divine. So then you take action, you initiate, you create, you get something out there, you get the ball rolling. You don't wait for anyone or anything. You don't wait for confirmation from the universe or from friends or from family. Whatever it is that you have an urge to do, you just do it and you get it out there. And then you have to master the art of communication because you need to explain to everyone else around you these divine inspirations and urges and images and visions that you're receiving in order to soften your impact. So this does not come naturally to manifestors. Manifestors move so fast. They're like a train off the track. They don't want to, and because of a lot of childhood conditioning and societal conditioning, manifestors are very hurt by conditioning more than anyone else because manifestors are not meant to be limited and limitations are put on them by their parents, by their teachers, by society. So then a lot of manifestors feel anger and they need to bust free and break free. And then they become so wild and never really master the art of communication until boom, they're like, they have to, right? Because something's going to come along that's going to force them to level up. And that's what's happened for me by meeting my match, by meeting Nathan. He is what's come along in my life and forcing me to level up in ways that I would have never faced or had to go through on my own, which I was used to my whole life as a lone wild woman wolf. Now I'm being faced with these things that are keeping me limited, which is my poor communication. And it's forcing me to evolve into the highest expression of a manifester. And that's what I want to be. I want to be the highest expression of a manifester. I want to master the art of communication so that I can get these divine messages and visions and urges out into the world so that I can help millions of people. I want to master that form of communication. You know, how I'm showing up online, showing up to my tribe, showing up to my friends, showing up to my community. That's what I've been working on. I really want to master that art of communication, but then it's in my deepest, most personal relationship that I have to master this art of communication because he is reflecting back at me my emotional wave and all of the ways that I am out of alignment. So I cannot run from them, which is what I've done in the past. So I just had this big realization about the ways that I need to actually communicate my needs because being a manifester and being a new parent has been quite um shocking to my nervous system. You know, I went from being this lone wolf my whole life, and then I got married and had a baby at the same time. And all of a sudden, you know, I can't do life the way that I have done my entire life. It's completely different now. And I'd say I adjusted pretty damn well. You know, I am killing it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm killing it. But the burnout really catches up with me every now and then, and it comes out in the form of me having these explosions like of just frustration and anger towards my husband because he's the one that's there. You know, it used to be on my parents growing up. I'd feel frustrated and then I'd like let it out on them because they're my loved ones. They love me unconditionally. They're there to love and support me and, you know, be a safe place for my emotions, which I'm ruled by the emotional wave. So they're my safe place for this to come out, right? But now that I'm an adult and now my husband's my safe place for this to come out, he's actually my mirror though. And he's showing me that, oh, I'm being really frustrated in this moment. I'm really burnt out. I'm really exhausted in this moment. Rather than getting ahead of that and communicating ahead of time, like, hey, this week I'm feeling really burnt out. I'm going to need 4 hours on this day to really tune back in with myself, to sit in silence, to tap into uninterrupted creative flow so that I can replenish and rejuvenate, come back into a place of balance and health so that I can show up as the best wife and mother I possibly can. That's what proper communication is. This is what I've never had my entire life. Instead, I just let it build, and then it's going to come out in a flash of frustration or anger, anger, feeling limited or feeling like I can't do what I want when I want, right? And that's being reflected back at me. And so I see like, whoa, this could be volatile if it's goes unchecked. So I am learning how to communicate my needs, to get very clear about what it is that I do need. This is why human design is such a gift. It's such a tool. It spells out exactly what your needs are, what your desires are, so that you can get so crystal clear on that and explain that and communicate that with your loved ones so that they know how to create a safe space for you to thrive and be your healthy, most balanced self, because that's what we all want for our loved ones. So I'm learning how to structure each week ahead of time with my partner so that we can both have the time and space we need to come back to a place of balance and health in this first year of parenthood. You know, we're facing a lot of challenge. We don't have much family here to help us out. And we're both just experiencing burnout. But for me, it's coming in the form of, you know, frustration and anger coming out every now and then that's being reflected back at me through my husband. And I feel like we're just working out the kinks, right? It's like I'm having all these experiences now so we can work out the kinks so that we can just get it out of our system and learn and grow and change so that we can be that really positive, beautiful backbone for our daughter. So we can have the best, most positive, beautiful, uplifting environment for her, which is what it is all the time until we both are so burnt out and we can't help each other. And then, we're experiencing the negative low end of my emotional wave because he's a reflector. He doesn't have the emotional wave. I set the emotional pace in our family. And so, it does happen every now and then where I'm burnt out, and then that's going to negatively impact my loved ones unless I have that space to come back home to myself, to balance, to peace, and to health and stillness. And that's only going to come through communication. And this is what I am learning. This may sound very basic for some of y'all listening out there that are good communicators, but I'm telling you, this is like so unnatural for me. This does not come naturally to me at all. So I'm learning. And here's the beauty of it. Humans are a rolling wave of consciousness with no fixed identity. I had this clear vision, revelation the other day about how I need to approach communication differently and how in the moment I need to pivot my approach so that I don't have an abrasive, hard punch land when I'm just speaking from my emotions, which can be like abrasive or frustrating or angry. It can come out like a dagger. It can come out like a boom, like a punch. It can come out like a hard punch. My impact could be a hard punch. I want my impact to be a soft land. And so I need to change my approach to communication, even especially in the moments of my deepest frustration or anger, because it's only going to be reinforced tenfold by my husband reflecting that anger and frustration back at me instead of us coming into this place of heightened awareness, higher expression of our energies. Because here's the thing, there's so much magic in this pairing. And I know that he's exactly the man that I was born to marry and that I'm supposed to be with. And it's a really beautiful, highest expression of us when we are healthy, when we are clear, when we are balanced and our cups are full. It's the most beautiful outcome. And this is exactly who I'm supposed to be with. So I just want to share that at our highest expression, my family can be a beacon of transformation and harmony. By embracing each member's unique energy, we model the balance of individuality and togetherness. We become a family that thrives on authenticity, emotional wisdom, and a deep sense of love and trust. So, by me understanding my own human design, understanding my husband's human design, communicating effectively what it is that I need to feel balanced and aligned and healthy and clear so that I can continue to be this clear vessel for divine inspiration and for vision so that I can lead our family forward into heightened states of living. And so that we can create the life of our dreams, the life of creativity, of fun, of laughter, of community, of music, of dancing. And then my husband is always here as the harmonizer. And he's here to keep me on track, to show me and reflect back at me where I am falling out of alignment so that we can always continue to strive upwards and higher and create this beautiful, beautiful home of harmony for our daughter, who is the generator. She brings that spark of passion and life force energy into our beautiful unit. And we're all this beautiful unit of harmony. And we can show people that you can have a unique expression, a unique family that is in alignment with everyone's individual energy. Like that is my goal. Because I am so fiercely independent, um, you know, being have be getting married and having a baby at the same exact time, it was a shock to my nervous system. And I'm learning how to create an existence that I can still honor my individuality and my independence while still fostering connection and togetherness. That it's not black or white, that I can create and weave together the existence of my dreams. That's what I'm doing. My greatest manifestation is here. This is my greatest manifestation in life. My family is my greatest manifestation that I'm so grateful for every single day that God gave me this opportunity to experience the deepest joy and love I will ever know. and I don't want to fumble the bag, right? So I'm having all of these opportunities to show me where I am out of alignment and how I can pivot and how I can adjust and how I can become more aware and more emotionally mature and let my emotions be my wisdom and guide me rather than falling victim to my emotions. And to master the art of communication and express my needs and wants and desires very clearly and get ahead of it and formulate and structure our lives week by week around making sure that our energetic needs and our unique needs are being met so that we can show up as our highest expression for our daughter, for our community. So, big revelation about how I can pivot my communication. And here's the other cool thing about being a manifestor. The moment I have this like clear revelation, which I've known this, by the way, I've known this for years. I've known this for our whole marriage, but I had to reach this like new perspective, this new higher perspective. And that's what Mercury brings. It's messenger from the gods. It brings you this higher perspective that's always been there, but now you can integrate it and ingrain it and move forth with that as the new value and structure your whole life around that value. And then you love yourself so much that you are disciplined and devoted to that value that you can catch yourself when you're slipping because you're striving upwards always. You're always striving upwards. And what was I going to say? Hmm. Basically, um, really lean into the biggest message that's coming through to you. It's something that's going to help your life. So you need to pivot, you need to make a conscious change. And then, oh yeah, this is where I was going with this, is that once you decide you want to make that conscious change, then boom, it's like, especially as a manifestor, you just do it. You just change. You just become it. I set the pace. And then everyone else around me follows it. They tune in. That's the energy of the manifestor as the initiator. I have this new pace that I'm going to set, and then it's going to be reflected and absorbed by everyone else around me. And even if you're not a manifester, you still do that. You can still make a decision, decide it, embody it, become it, and then that permeates throughout everyone and everything around you. So you can change your entire life overnight. You have no fixed identity. You release what no longer serves. Coming back home to your true authentic self doesn't mean you're changing anything about yourself. It means you're getting rid of what is not truly you, what no longer serves you anymore, your ego self, your wounded self, your emotionally immature self. And we don't have any shame or regret or guilt around those parts of ourselves. We send that part of ourselves so much love because you're doing the best you could with what you had at the time, with your knowledge at the time, with your awareness at the time. You were just doing your best. And, our world is very unnatural and we're all just trying to survive in an unnatural world. But then you come to this place of higher awareness and inner knowing and trust, and you realize that you can actually make the world natural for you. You make your family natural for you. You don't have to follow any traditional norms. You don't have to do things the way you think you're, quote, supposed to do them. You make it natural for you. You create a work schedule that's natural for you. You create a family dynamic that's natural for you, and that's it. You make the world natural to you. And then you implement these changes, and then boom, that's your new reality. Every single day when something arises like an old trigger, rather than responding from how you used to respond, you have your new value, you have your discipline and devotion to stay true to that value. So then you choose another way. And then before you know it, you have completely rewired your mind, you rewired your patterns, and now you've rewired your entire life. Boom, quantum leap. You just constructed a new reality. So that's the reality that I'm constructing. I am in my highest expression of myself, of my family. We are a family that embodies harmony and transformation and creativity and creation and love and supporting each other's unique energy. If you want help with this, by the way, I do human design family reading. So I could do your human design, your partners, you can add in your children too, And we can set up a call where I can walk you through this energy, how to create a life and honor your partner's needs so that you can all show up as your best selves. That was my biggest breakthrough that I had during this Mercury retrograde, this revelation, how I'm going to change my communication as a manifestor that's going to help my entire family. And then making a conscious effort to honor my husband's energy as well. And so I've had on my website for a while that I'm sharing human design for families, but it's something that I feel like Source is telling me to really get out there and share. So I'm going to start promoting it more. So if you're interested in this, hit me up, read about it on my website. I think it's going to be really, that feels like the divine feminine way of our future, of our family unit of tenderness and honoring each other's needs and respecting individual energy and needs. So if I can help others do that as well, then it would be my honor. So sending you guys so much love. Get so clear about your desires, about your direction. Have so much gratitude and appreciation for the process. Get so clear about how you want to be spending your time and energy every single week. Super clear about your desires, because if this great attractor brought you your dreams tomorrow, your biggest manifestation, your dream landed in your lap, do you have the infrastructure to hold it? Like, are you prepared for it? Are you mentally, emotionally, and physically prepared for your dream to land in your lap? Like, let's say you went viral on TikTok, like you've been dying to do, get millions and millions of followers. Is your website set up? Where's your funnel? Where are they going to go to continue to find you? Do you have everything set up and ready for when you pop off? Or if you met the love of your life tomorrow, are you ready? Like, do you have everything, all your ducks in a row to be swept off your feet? Like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Get so prepared, like, get so clear about what you really want, and then make sure that you have the infrastructure, energetic, spiritual, emotional, mental infrastructure to already be able to hold what it is that is coming your way, because that's what the Great Attractor is going to do. It's going to drop it in your lap. So make sure you are prepared. You know your girl is. I'm ready. So I hope you are too. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. Most importantly, thank you for being yourself, for showing up, for being devoted and committed to your highest calling, to your highest path. That is so beautiful. And the world is beautiful, the future is bright. We're so grateful to be here, to have this opportunity to create the life of our dreams and to learn and grow and make mistakes and struggle and shed who we no longer are so that we can become exactly who we were born to be and create the life of our dreams and help everyone around us and spread love all over the world. What a time to be alive. Okay, much love. Peace out.